All right, what's going on, everybody? So we're here talking a little bit more about the Browns, just kind of what's going on right now. So we're only here for about a little bit over 30 minutes today, something like that. We'll probably do another one of these later, but wanted to get Cam on again as usual. So Cam, how you doing? It's been a while.
And I'm doing good, man. I'm ready. I'm glad to be back, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, doing great. So Um, wanted to kind of start things off. Let's talk a little bit about Baker. He had his surgery for the torn labrum this past week. A lot of stupid things on Twitter. People upset about him not wearing Browns gear. Like, whatever. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. But um, just to start off, what do you think about Baker as far as going into next season? Are you sold that he's going to be the guy? Do you think they're going to look at options? What are you feeling for the quarterback position?
Quarterback, but I'm feeling that Baker is gonna be the guy for next season, but I'm really hoping that we bring somebody in to push him, like maybe a Mitchell Trubisky, a guy with a little chip on his shoulder. But what are your thoughts, Derek?
No, I definitely agree. I think that they're kind of stuck right now with Baker, just because I don't see them really having a ton of options, and I don't think they're going to want
Yeah,
to trade. But I completely agree with you. Backup quarterback, in my opinion, is a huge, huge need. I love Mitch Trubisky as a backup. I would like to see Marcus Mariota maybe just to see kind of the different style of offense we could run with him. Um, but I had this clip, and this is from ESPN Cleveland. Hopefully YouTube won't take us down for this. If they do, oh well. But this is courtesy of ESPN Cleveland. It's not my clip. YouTube don't take us down. So I'm gonna play this real quick, just because I completely agree with everything he says here, and I think based on what I've talked with you about, I think you will too. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
okay.
Philosophically speaking, not who's available, not who thing, not going through the process over the next 3 months to make the decision in Berea, the philosophical question of whether or not the Browns should move on from Baker Mayfield. Tony, we've seen him for 4 years. I'm guessing the guys that study football and scout football for a living probably have an idea of what they think Baker is. With that said, philosophically, the Browns are ready to move on from Baker Mayfield. Might not happen because of details of who they get or who they get. The reason he is on social media defending himself, he looks nervous, is that he kind of gets it too. Tony, in the building, they're in the building, they're ready to move on.
So I pretty much agree with everything you said there. The whole front office side of things, I agree. I think it's been 4 years. There's no really questions right now. I don't feel like as far as the front office. Again, I just think they're kind of stuck. What do you think about what he said, and what do you think about the front office side of things? Do you think there's a little bit of division between Barry and Stefanski, or what do you think's going on with that?
Um, to be honest, Derek, I really don't think there's anything going on with the front office of Stefanski. I just feel like this year we were limited with injuries, and we just really didn't. We just injuries really just killed us this year. So I don't really think Stefanski and the front office are bumping heads. I just think that Stefanski was just very limited on what he could do with the amount of players that we had out, and COVID didn't help either.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I feel like despite a lot of the talk on Twitter and on social media about hey, people hate Baker, people love Baker, I think they're on the same page. That's just kind of the sense I get. But as far as backup quarterback, do you think that they should bring a guy in who's more of a veteran, who's not really going to be a threat to him, or do you think they need to get somebody who can legitimately challenge him and try to compete and step up and hopefully bring a better performance out of Baker?
I think they need to bring in a guy that can really compete for this job because let's say Baker isn't our guy, we need to start looking for his options.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So, speaking of options, just kind of pivot here. We have the 13th pick in the draft as of now. I think the only way they trade that is if it is for another quarterback. But at 13, it's got to be receiver, right?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, because to me, regardless of what your opinion on Baker is, receiver has to be the pick, right? Because it kills two birds. Either it helps you figure out if Baker is the guy, and also it sets you up for your next quarterback. Um, I think this is a really talented draft class. And I think at 13, the Browns are going to have their options just because I think the way the draft is going to go out this year, going to see a lot of tackles, a lot of defensive players go before us. So I think I know your answer because it's probably the same as mine. But who do you want at 13 if you had your pick of any of these receivers?
I would take Garrett Wilson.
Yes,
That's who
sir.
I want.
Yeah. Do you think that Wilson's size is gonna limit him? Because that's kind of been the only negative that I've heard about him.
I don't think so. I feel like that he could potentially turn into how we seen Jamar Chase rookie year this past year. I think that we could see that out of Wilson.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Um, so as far as receivers though, let's just say Garrett Wilson is gone, which I don't think is going to happen, but I've seen it happen in a couple mocks and stuff like that. If Garrett Wilson was gone, do you think it would be worth the risk to take a Jamison Williams that early? Or do you like Chris Olave, or who do you like outside of Garrett Wilson if he's gone?
Not just because I'm an Ohio State fan, but I would prefer Olave because I mean these dudes, these receivers come out of Ohio State are once in a generational talent coming out. Um, yes, you can get another. It's going to be talent in the second round and third round as well. But I mean, I think if you can't go wrong with either Wilson or Olave, or even Jameson. I mean, it's just like these guys are once in a generational talent, and you got to get these guys, in my opinion.
So Jaden, shout out Jaden by the way, uh,
Okay.
checking us out here. He says, "What if we trade down to the mid 20s and take Drake London to get some extra draft capital?"
I could definitely see Barry trading down. I could definitely see that happening.
Do you think that Drake London or Treylon Burks is a fit for the Browns though?
Um, I probably need to watch a little bit more film, but I need to watch a little bit more film.
Yeah, the thing about these receivers is, and this is kind of what I've been going back and forth with some fans. I think, and I know you know because you watch so much tape and everything.
Hmm.
The Browns are looking for a specific type of receiver. They're going to be looking for a good route runner, a fast guy who has reliable hands. London, being a 6'5" guy, and then you got Burks, who's I believe 6'3", compares to DK Metcalf a little bit. I just don't think the Browns are looking for those guys. I think they got that in Donovan Peoples-Jones, and I
Definitely,
think they still believe that. But Mari
yeah,
says
definitely. I
take a
definitely agree with you.
quarterback.
Tom Mario.
Do you think there's any chance that we take a quarterback in this draft? I
um,
doubt it, but
I could see in the later rounds,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I just don't feel like they like anybody in this draft enough to
Yeah,
take them this
I'm
early.
not really sold on any quarterback in this draft as well.
Do you think there's going to be guys picked ahead of us, though? Like quarterback wise, do you think there's any sleepers?
Um, I can see Washington taking a quarterback. Um, New York maybe.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I could definitely see like Denver, New York, Washington taking a QB.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there's going to be a couple guys. Like, I don't like Sam Howell. That's just me personally. I'm not a big fan of him. But I know there's a lot of people out here who are really thinking he's going to jump up the draft board. So I don't know. We'll kind of find out more of that towards the combine. But I don't know. I think the Browns are in a good spot draft wise. It's kind of crazy that this roster can add somebody as talented, with that 13th pick. It's kind of crazy to me. But
Yeah, definitely.
um, kind of shifting off of the draft here, unfortunately, we saw Malik McDowell running through the streets in front of a preschool naked, arrested yet again. Doesn't seem like he's going to be in the NFL, especially not on the Browns. What do you think that does for the future at defensive tackle? Do you think they believe in Tommy Togiai and Jordan Elliott and these guys, kind of the younger guys?
Um, my take on it is Jordan Elliott really hasn't shown me much for us to have belief in him. Tommy Togiai has showed some pretty good flashes in the short amount of time that we've seen him play last year. Um, I mean, Malik McDowell's situation is very unfortunate because he actually had a pretty good season last year. He was setting himself up to get a decent contract either from us or another team. But I definitely think that will need to address the defensive line. Nose tackle position is definitely a need. It's a lot of free agents out there. Would you mind bringing Sheldon Richardson back? You need a veteran in that group. But I definitely believe that Togiai probably will be able to take that next step next year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. What do you think about, and I know with both of us being Buckeye fans, we're probably really biased, but I'm going to say it anyway. Pair Haskell Garrett and Tommy Togiai together. Second, third round. What do you think about that?
I definitely like that. Haskell Garrett is definitely a great nose tackle. He can plug the middle. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I think, and the best part about those two is they kind of fit together. Like they're both different, but both of their games like fit so perfect, side by side at D tackle. So, I mean, that's something that I could see happening. I don't know if it will necessarily, but would you be opposed to bringing back Malik Jackson for another year or 2 years?
Um, I don't think we really. I don't think we should. I'm not, in my opinion, I don't really think Malik Jackson is worth bringing back. I mean, he had a couple good flashes last year, but he really didn't generate the type of noise that I thought he was going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think his age is kind of a big thing here, but
Yeah,
Um, staying along the lines here of like free agency and kind of filling needs, we talked about the receivers in the draft. Free agency wise, there are guys out there. I don't think we're gonna pay super big money. But
yeah, I don't see it happening.
Jarvis Landry at 15 million. It's sad. It really sucks, but it seems like he's done in Cleveland. Um, do you think that he's done? Do you think there's any way he stays?
Um, I mean, like you said, it's very unfortunate that we may have seen Jarvis Landry's last game as a Brown against Cincinnati. Um, the only way I could see him staying if he gets a nice little contract with incentives, but I mean, I don't know. I think and I'm not, and this is just my opinion. I mean, I think the Browns really want to get younger and just clear house, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Landry's age, to me, it's not really as much as age. It's just the fact that it seems like every year he's been injured
Yeah,
and it's kind
injuries
of
are.
building up. And it's sad because he was such a big part of this turnaround. Everybody wants to talk about Baker and, yes, he plays quarterback, but I mean, from the locker room standpoint, to me, it's Jarvis Landry,
Oh
100%
yeah,
Jarvis.
without a doubt.
But so it's going to be sad to see him go if he does, in fact, leave, which again, I think is probably likely. But free agency wise, the names out there that I like that I think the Browns might be able to spend money to get. Um, I like Allen Robinson. I don't know how likely it is. I really like Christian Kirk from Arizona. I know that he's not exactly been like a number one. He's kind of been number two, number three, but I think in this offense, it would fit him well. And another name is DJ Chark. I think he's really underrated. He's a guy who's been in Jacksonville, bad quarterbacks, bad coaches, just bad team as a whole, really. I
Yeah,
think you
definitely.
bring him into Cleveland and see what he does. So, what do you think about those three names? And is there anybody else that you could see the Browns getting?
Definitely. I definitely love the Allen Robinson thought. If we, I mean, hey, I mean, let's say where was that? We brought in Hooper. We didn't see that coming at all. So I mean, you never know. Barry could surprise us to throw that bag at somebody. But I definitely Chris Godwin as well. He's out there, but he's probably going to be a little bit more expensive. But I definitely think we could really pick up a steal in free agency with the receiver in free agency.
So, I think I agree with you. I think the Browns have to at least sign one receiver in free agency, draft one at 13, but there are a couple trade options out there. Calvin Ridley, I almost said Riley Ridley, that's his brother, but Calvin Ridley is apparently looking for trade options. What do you think it would take to give up? Do you think that would be something the Browns would be interested in? And do you like that?
uh, I wouldn't really be kind of like thirsty to acquire Calvin. Really, I mean, he's been injured. He hasn't really. Yeah, I really haven't seen the production that I thought we were going to see out of Calvin really in the NFL. So I really would kind of stay away from him if I were Barry.
What do you think his trade market's going to be? Because I know I've heard they want a first, but
Um, I can't see them getting the first for really. Second might be, I maybe a second, but that's still a little high too.
let me ask you this because I would personally do this. All right. Second and a fourth for Calvin Ridley. Now, here's why I say that. The Browns have 2 fourth-round picks this year, right? So if you address your most important need, wide receiver at 13, I feel like the way this draft is, as deep as it is at some of these positions, um, do you think the Browns might consider that? Or maybe just even a second? Do you think they could consider that?
I mean, again, with the Malik McDowell situation kind of hurting us, I really don't know. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of tough.
Hey, so I know we're Browns fans, but this guy's asking the question, and I know your answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
Hmm.
Juju Smith-Schuster, do you even consider it?
Um, nah, we don't got time to be playing games and stuff. I mean, we trying to get is. I just can't see us bringing in Juju. Not just because he played for Pittsburgh, but the maturity level is just not there.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you do that, you're bringing in more locker room problems, which
Yeah,
is a
no
problem.
doubt.
But one other guy, as far as receivers um, that we could possibly trade for, was talked about at the trade deadline. But Brandon Cooks, you think that's something they might look into from Houston?
Um, I mean, that could definitely be an option. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but I just don't really see us trading for a receiver, Derek. I'm not even gonna lie.
So you think it's likely sign and draft?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm really feeling.
It seems that way. I think the most important thing here, and like I said earlier, they got to get somebody long term here. Because right now, the only guys long term are Donovan Peoples Jones, which has shown great promise. I mean, I think we might
Definitely,
have overhyped him a little bit this past year. But Anthony Schwartz is your only other guy, and we haven't really seen anything from him. I'm not confident. So to me, you got to have guys long term because you got to have a plan for whatever you do at quarterback, and receiver is that plan. So,
yeah, definitely.
um, Mari says this, and I agree with this. I know a lot of people disagree, but do you think the Browns could go receiver with their first round pick and second round pick?
I definitely could see that happening. No, most definitely. Like I said, you're going to get a stud at 13 if you take a receiver. Hopefully, Garrett Wilson or one of these guys are there, and there's just going to be receivers in the later rounds as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
I mean that's kind of what I'm hoping that we do. I'm not even going to lie to you.
no, I agree. I think it's kind of people assume that just because you take one guy, like that's it, like it's solved. But I know you being a big college football guy like me, I mean, there's so much talent. Like
Oh
Wandale
yeah,
Robinson, um, Pickens from Georgia, who's coming off of an ACL. Yes, I know, a lot of fans are going to want to stay away from that, but Justice Ross from Clemson, a guy who was a number one receiver for sure before he got injured. He'll probably go later on. Um, I know Jaden's going to want us to say Jahan Dotson. Unfortunately, Jaden, I think he's going to go late first, early second, but um, there's just so many of these guys. Like, to me, you got to double up. Whether if it's first and
Yeah,
third, first and second, you got to double up.
I think you got to go first and second. And you never know. Look, I'm just saying this. I'm not saying it's going to happen or anything. I mean, the draft is crazy. Stuff happens. Let's say we take Garrett Wilson with that 13th pick. Let's say J-Mo drops that ACL injury. How
Yeah.
sick would that be?
Do you think there's any chance he doesn't go in the first round?
Um, I think it's 50-50.
Really?
Yeah.
I think for sure he
It,
goes in the first, right?
I think so too, because of the season he had, but I don't know. You know how I really don't know. Injuries scare a lot of people away, but I think it's really 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think the Eagles, with them having 3 first-round picks, I can't imagine that they wouldn't do that. The Saints are in need, as far as wide receiver. But Jeremy is saying, what do we do at D end? Any draft prospects? Before we answer that, Jadeveon Clowney, do you think we bring him back? And I think it's obvious that we should, but do you think we can?
The only way I see us bringing Clowney back is if another team doesn't throw him something that we can't offer him.
What if the
So if a,
Browns go ahead?
you know, so you can go ahead, Derek.
What if the Browns offered him a comparable deal, right? But it's a little bit less to maybe another team. Do you think because of the success he had this year, he would take like a 2-year deal, maybe something like that?
Um, One thing that I heard in his press conference is stability. So maybe then he looking at he already knows the system. Then I mean he's been had to start over with 4 teams in a new system in the past 4 years. So the only way I can see him staying maybe a little bit long term and you know you see what I'm trying to say, Derek?
Yeah, no, I just kind of wonder how much he values like what he's doing right now. Because like this is the most success he's had in years, probably since his rookie's year. So I
Yeah,
mean, does he want to stay with that or would he rather get money? Like I don't know what he's motivated by would be my question.
yeah. He
Um
definitely said money is important though.
yeah, and that was his big thing like when he first came to Cleveland was money. But I think at this point he's happy. I mean, Miles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, opposite of each other. I mean, to me, if I was in his shoes, to me that would just be so fun. Like just dominating with another guy who's that good. Um, but as far as the draft goes, I think if we do go defensive end, it would be probably second, third rounds, or third round rather. A guy that I like out of Oklahoma, now he's listed as an outside linebacker, but he's played a lot of D end. And that is I got him pulled up here. Nick Bonito. I don't know if you've seen any of him. To me, he's kind of like a physical gifted guy. He's really good off the edge. You got to really put him in a stand-up position, kind of like we had Tack McKinley. But with Tack being out next year with that torn Achilles, I mean, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, and
Um,
I thought Tech was a free agent after this year.
yeah, he is, but I mean, with that torn Achilles, even if we did bring him back, he wouldn't be able to play.
Yeah,
Um, Jaden saying draft Jordan Davis, and then Jahan Dotson in round 2. I don't think Jahan Dotson will be there in round 2, first of all, and
yeah,
I
I don't
think
think so either.
Jordan Davis at 13 is a very high reach in my opinion. Like, not that he's
See,
not good, but what do you think about
I
Jordan
just
Davis?
I like Davis, but I don't think he's worthy of going at 13. And like I said again, I really you got to get Wilson or Olave.
Yeah.
Those guys can turn our offense around so quickly.
Yeah, well, Jaden, here's the thing. He's massive, but he's not a pass rusher. He's a great run defender, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We're just going to have to
Yeah,
see. But we got about 5 minutes left here. One thing I wanted to ask you and talk about Denzel Ward. He's got the 5th year this year. Extend him. I don't care. I don't care what's
Oh,
going on at
no doubt.
quarterback. Extend him.
No doubt. They need to give Denzel that bag.
Are you concerned at all though with his injury history? Like, do you think that's gonna play a factor?
Not really. This year was definitely a big prove year. He could definitely stay healthy this year. I think he missed like 2 games, and I wouldn't even count the last one because that was COVID. But definitely give Denzel the bag.
Jaden, give him Baker's money. I could not agree more.
Totally agree.
Oh my gosh. So as far as the defense, Joe Woods sucked early, but he turned it around. He'll be back. Offensively, to me, we got to get back to 2020.
Yeah, we need to shore up that offensive line. Right tackle is kind of a little bit of an issue with Conklin not staying healthy. That hurts. Um, I was even suggesting maybe trading Conklin and maybe moving Jed to right tackle and putting Batoni at left tackle. But I mean, I'm just saying, just saying stuff. But I think we definitely need to take a tackle, right tackle.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you because we're both big fans of Jed. My problem with him, though, to me, he's inconsistent. Like, you'll see
Yeah,
tape.
I'm not
Go ahead.
like yeah, like that Cincinnati game, he played a really good game. He blocked in the run game really good. Um, what I just think that he's thinking too much, and that ankle injury still might have been bothering him. I don't think the ankle was ever 100%, but that ankle injury really messed him up at the beginning of the season. But I just think he got to block everything out and just play football.
Now, do we draft a left tackle? Because I think if you move Jed to right, I think he's a Pro Bowl tackle immediately. I just think he's had some inconsistencies because it takes time to switch. Like, we drafted him
Oh
to be
yeah,
a
no
left
doubt.
tackle, but that muscle memory is not easy to just turn off. Like, it's not easy. But do you see us looking at tackle at all? Like, do you think it's even an option? Like, if there's a guy in the first round that they love, do you think they consider it at least?
I think they definitely consider it.
You got any guys you like in this class at tackle other than Evan Neal? Because obviously
Um,
we're not going to be able to get him.
I doubt it, but not really. It's nobody that's really jumping out at me right now. A guy that I thought that was gonna come out actually came back. I really thought that Dewan Jones was gonna come out and declare, but he's
Yeah.
going back to Ohio State. But I wouldn't have minded, maybe picking him up and letting him fight for that starting job with Conklin.
What do you think about the other Ohio State guys? Because I'm not too big on Munford. I'm not too big on Petit Frere, but
I'm not really a Petit Frere fan. Mumford really didn't play all like how I thought he was gonna play this year. But in the past years, that with Fields and them, Mumford was. And then you got to look at this. Mumford really was what was he playing? Tackle? And they moved him inside.
yeah, he was playing outside. They moved him. I want to say right
Yeah,
guard, right?
yeah. And then they moved. Yeah, he was
Or
playing
no.
right
He
tackle.
was
No, he's
playing
playing
left.
left tackle.
Yeah, he was playing left guard because we moved Paris Johnson to right guard, right? Or
Yeah,
do I have that backwards? They were both playing guard though, but
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think tackles.
I think that kind of hurt him a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. But just kind of wrapping things up here. I think the biggest thing, and again, we're gonna have to do one of these again here shortly, just because I think there's so much to talk about, and unfortunately, there's limited time today. But I definitely think the Browns have to upgrade in the pass game, have to upgrade quarterback room. Whether if that's new starter or competition for starter, to me, it doesn't really matter. Um, but yeah, I think the big thing here is we got the group of guys. We're a talented team. No reason why we should be where we're at right now. Um, and I don't think we're far away. I think next year is playoffs. Like, there's no excuses not to be in the playoffs next year. You agree with
Oh
that?
yeah, no doubt. No doubt, definitely.
So, and I think honestly, for all the people complaining about play calling and Stefanski, and we can kind of wrap up on this, but I'm of the opinion that Baker handcuffs Stefanski. Like, I'm not ready to fire Kevin. I'm not saying I'm sold on him, but I definitely think that Baker's injury and that kind of thing really affected him. You agree with that?
No, I totally agree with you, Derek. Injuries, like I said, injuries hurt the whole year.
Yeah. And it sucks, but I don't know. I don't think we should be too upset. It's not like 2019. It's not like the 0-16, 1-15
Yeah,
years.
Derek. We're
I mean, it
complaining about
feels
8
like it.
wins.
It
We're
feels
complaining
like
about
it,
8
but
wins.
yeah. I mean, I think we all just kind of need to relax, trust Barry. He's going to do what he needs to do, and we'll be all right. So, but anyway, anything else you want to say before we end things here?
Bring back MJ Stewart.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's going to be a quiet, big deal if we bring him back as well as he's been playing. But
Bring back MJ Stewart, man.
all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We're gonna have to do one of these again. I don't know when it's gonna be, but we're definitely gonna do one of these again. Maybe get Mari and Jaden on. If Mari
Definitely.
wants to actually talk some sense. But anyway, so everybody, thanks for watching. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll go ahead and see you in the next one. All right, bye bye.